Greetings friends, it's me Wayman. This video going out to I Want to Be Jew, the reception of Caesar's Messiah. Um, in his video he gave a bunch of reasons on why this hypothesis isn't supported more widely, and I can agree with those. Having read it, I'm an agnostic, and I know that this video wasn't directed at me in any ways, but as a person who read it as a agnostic, I could care less about all the theological implications or political implications of viewing this hypothesis. Because I think that a lot of people would view this hypothesis for many different reasons, and not only because it makes some sense and answers some questions. To some people it will answer every single question they ever had for whatever reasons or whatever their motivations are. So I guess that this book, I have two copies of the Jewish Wars, one from Penguin Classics, the other one is a heavily Christianized translation, an older one, and I have Caesar's Messiah. Now this book, the older one, I got it for $14 last year. This is now shot up in price to $115. I believe he has a new updated version out. I don't know how updated it is because I didn't buy it, but this book is right on my shelf with the other Jesus or Gospel hypothesis. There was one that came out in the 60s. It was called the Passover Plot, which was really widely accepted and huge, and answered everybody's questions about it. And then 2006, a book called The Jesus Papers came out, which very much the same, gave this whole other perspective about it. And so Alwell's book is right on that shelf with Jesus' hypotheses. So, could it have happened? Maybe. He lays it out very well, and I really enjoyed the book. It was a very enjoyable read, and I would encourage people to read it. But I guess I had two questions when I was done. One was, why only Josephus? If the Flavian emperors, had at their disposal tons of money and tons of resources to devote to composing literature, they'd be cranking out a lot more than we have. You know, and why only the Gospels mentioned in Caesar's Messiah? There was tons of literature out there, and it'd be interesting to create volumes on this theory to see how it holds up. Not only in this, but he mentions a little bit the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Apocrypha and the Pseudepigrapha. So I would like him to go into that more. Also, when I was reading it, I wondered why the Flavians didn't do a better job. Because basically, the texts, Matthew and Luke, are just, you know, copies of Mark and a Greco-Roman view of the idea of Jesus at the time. So I mean, a lot of things were added to Mark, and Mark itself, you know, is pretty much poorly constructed Greek with underlying Semitic influences, either Hebrew or Aramaic. You cannot go. The Romans have done this before, but they've done an excellent job. Like, you know, obviously with Josephus and those writings, but Virgil and the Aeneid did it to the Greeks. They basically inserted themselves in the Greek religion by the Aeneid, and linking themselves to the lineage of the hero Aeneas, which appears in the works of Homer, the man deity Aeneas. So they've done it before. They've done it to the Egyptians, and I wouldn't put it past them to produce such works. But I think they would have done a better job than the poorly constructed shambles of text that we have as the Gospels. Also, too, I'm not really sure the writing and the text would have been able, the writers, only 10% of the population could read. Less than that could write. So they would have to be trilingual. They would have had to have known both Greek and Hebrew and Latin. So that was another reservation that I had. But I did read it. It was a good book, and I may try in the future getting the updated version. But like I was saying, there's many motivations for believing this, and some of those do not have to do with, doesn't make complete sense. There's political motivations for believing this, and I could understand why. And there's religious and theological motivations for believing this, and I could see why. So it comes in a package, just like everything. And but you have to also be willing to open up other packages and see what's in there. And once you stop, and one book has all the answers, you should start immediately looking for other packages. Because maybe that's saying something. So, I don't know. It was a great book, but I still got to get through some of Eisenman's texts. James, the brother of Jesus, I just bought. And I'm part of the way through Dead Sea Scrolls and the early Christians. So, I don't know. That's just my view. And take care, and be well.